Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video from BuriedONE. In today's update number 2, I'm gonna talk about a lot of things. Basically, electricity prices, oil prices, gold prices. Basically, why am I saying basically so much? That's not good, boys. You've been telling me about this. I will try and watch that. It's good that you guys told me in the comments below. It's quite funny actually. So I'm gonna be talking about Bitcoin's price, its difficulty, and some strange things that I've seen. So stay tuned. I'm gonna grab a cup of tea and I'll be back. Hello everyone, and I got my cup of tea. That's a good step forward. So what we're gonna talk about today is basically everything. It's gonna be a lot. So I'm not gonna talk about the game today. I will do that in another update. I'm still working on the skin builds. It's a lot of work. I still don't get why people want skins in games, but whatever. I'll make it. I'll do what people love the most. So what we're gonna show today is a lot of variety of things. So basically, I'm going to be showing you guys what the electricity prices are, for example, across the world. United States has gone up a little bit. Europe, for especially those guys where I live in, Europe is going up in price pretty fast. These charts are actually outdated a little bit. They're from September 2022, but yeah, it just shows you how much it actually increased because I know a few of those numbers. For example, the Netherlands has gone up by maybe 50% at this point. Belgium has gone up maybe 50% in price as well. They went from 27 to something like 40 cents right now. So that's pretty expensive. So Belgium is one of the most expensive countries to live in, and I have like a certain contract, so I still pay 27 because I was a miner, so I always wanted to have a solid contract with a certain electricity price. So across Europe, the whole energy price thing is going up. It's really ridiculous. And if you want to know a fun fact, actually, basically why the prices are going up in Europe is a fun story. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. So here's the small compact example of how it actually works. So we used to buy gas from Russia. I think we still do, but whatever. But there's some gas power plants. They make electricity by burning gas and turning it into steam and whatever. You have coal plants in Germany, for example, brown coals. It's brown coals, whatever it is. It's really polluting. It's really nice to check out how much the ecological damage is of brown coal mining. It's insane, to be honest. But let's go back to the gas station thing. So the gas burning stations, and we have windmills and solar panels and nuclear power. But the thing is, the gas turbines with the gas power are actually paying more for the gas. So what they do is they actually sell for, let's say, double or triple the kilowatt hour price. The funny thing is that the wind, the solar, and the nuclear power don't have to buy gas. It just makes energy. It's just, okay, it produces energy and there you go. Okay, the uranium needs to be bought as well, but whatever. Eventually, they can match the price with the gas station. It doesn't make sense. So that's why the electricity price rises. They just said, government-wise, if the gas station is making 1 kilowatt hour for 40 cents, everyone can charge this. Nuclear power, wind power, and solar power. That's how it works. That's just not making sense. Even though there's only one gas-powered station in your country, the whole electricity price is going up because they can't track which one is from who. So that's the issue. That's a fun fact that I'm telling you guys. So think about that one. That's how they work. So let's go back to the charts. So we have the crude oil prices, and they're going down slightly. That's pretty good. I can feel it on the gas station as well, that it's lowering just a little bit. It's still expensive to get to my studio every day, but yeah, it's going down. That's a good thing. So crude oil makes you the gasoline and the diesel and the kerosene, whatever. That's a good thing, and I really like that it's going down. The gold price is pretty interesting as well, because the gold price actually shows us that a lot of people are getting into, ooh, there's something not good going on. So during the COVID pandemic, you see it's gone up all the way. So people, when people are uncertain about their future, they're gonna buy gold. In 2008, they actually did the same, but back in 2000, like the end of 2008, they had to be like, oh yeah, well, I can still buy some gold because the economy still doesn't look good. But when everything goes good, everyone's going to sell their gold and they're going to buy real estate at a cheaper price, whatever. At the end of an economic crisis, they will actually sell their gold and they feel good again about the economy. So for the past 4 or 5 years, it went pretty okay. The price of gold was pretty stable still. But then we saw a price increase, and I guess what caused that one. But now it's going down just a little bit, and that makes it so people are pretty uncertain about the future, and I can kind of predict that it's gonna make a little dip like 2008, but it's gonna be totally worse. So prepare for that one. Keep the gold chart in your eye corners, you know. So the next chart we're going to be looking at, that's pretty interesting as well, is the network mining difficulty of Bitcoin. Now that Ethereum is not actually mineable anymore or profitable at all with the electricity prices across Europe and the United States, we're going to take a look at this really strange chart. Why is the Bitcoin difficulty going up? Well, it could be a few things. One is that there's some new miners coming out from Bitmain or InnoSilicon, whatever, and it got really more efficient to mine. And that makes it people are changing their hardware, and thereby they're actually increasing the difficulty. But it could also be that there's a lot of people that are actually gambling on that Bitcoin is going to rise up again. That would be really risky, but the thing that I see, and I see a really nice pattern in this one, is back in 2017, we remember all that the really big crypto rush was going up. The mining difficulty actually increased, and eventually the price caught up in 2019 to the difficulty. So it was a one-on-one scenario, but then it did exactly the same as it's doing now. So we actually seen this already. That is pretty interesting. So if this actually repeats once again, well, the bad thing is we could see a bigger dip in Bitcoin's price eventually. That would be catastrophic, and that would end up being Bitcoin at about 10 or 8K again. But then it would catch up to the difficulty again, and that would mean that Bitcoin would go up to, let's say, 60, 70K again. But after that, there would be a second dip. This is like a loop that occurred for 3 years. With after the 2-year loop, there was a giant catch up on the difficulty and price. So the price went over the difficulty, and that's really interesting. So it happened again, and that was the second rush. But this one is going to be really interesting, because if this one is going to repeat these two spikes like earlier than a 3-year loop, because this is the first time we see this loop, maybe it's reoccurring in the future, but for now we need to assume that it's gonna take the 2 or 3 year loop. Well, I don't know, maybe it's really interesting. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this one. I think it's pretty darn interesting, to be honest. Like, what could happen? Nobody knows, but it could be really interesting. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you that really caught my eyes was this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. Normally, Bitcoin never deviates with the price outside of these boundaries. But as you can see on the end, something really strange is happening. What is Bitcoin gonna do? Is it gonna go back to the curve that should be about 50 to 100K, or maybe even more? That is pretty interesting, to be honest. That is really darn interesting. What do you guys think about this one? What do you think is going to happen? My opinion, it's going to go back to its logarithmic growth curve, and it's going back to the lowest boundary. But this will cause a mass buying of Bitcoin. So that could potentially rise it up to 100K pretty fast. So the next one I'm going to be showing you is, well, Bitcoin's actual price chart. But this is basically on all. If you see it for a year, well, it's pretty depressing to see Bitcoin going down and down and down and down. But did we actually reach bottom yet? That is the good question. A few people told me they suspected that this is going to be the Bitcoin's bottom for this year. But there's a lot of things happening in the world right now. There's a lot of financial things going on. There's a lot of wars going on. China is unstable. Whatever you call it, there's so much happening right now. It's absolute chaos. You can't even follow it if you would look at the news every single day. Basically, the news is always negative. But I think that there's a really good chance that people lost interest in Bitcoin, and that in some kind of way Bitcoin's going to recover and people will miss out. They'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about Bitcoin, I was looking to all the other news. Well, that's a potential thing that could happen, and this could mean that Bitcoin reached this bottom and that it could rise pretty fast. But that is also an assumption. That could happen. Leave in the comments below what you guys think about this one, but that is what I think that could happen. But worst case, what can happen is Bitcoin goes all the way down and we need to make a whole new book of what is going on in crypto. That is basically what could happen. The crypto fear and greed index is currently at 28, so that's pretty bad. 28 means there's a lot of fear going on. Last week there was extreme fear because, yeah, basically that is what is happening right now. People are fearing for their money. But to be honest, this is not really based on only Bitcoin or crypto, or the whole economy is fear 28. So that is basically what I think is going on, and not only on crypto. I think crypto is making some good development these days. So honestly, there is no way to be feared. It's going pretty well based on what I saw on the internet. Well, yeah, FXT whatever is not so great, but you know. So let's go back, or to the next chart, I mean. This one is pretty interesting as well. We see the huge spike in 2017, the big rush that we all know. This one means the trading volume. So how many Bitcoins were bought and sold? That is a really interesting chart, and this one sure has to be one of the things that you need to look at. Bitcoin is not being traded right now. It's really quiet, even though the price is dropping pretty significant. So that caught my attention pretty bad, to be honest. Because if you see, the Bitcoin was going up pretty hard. There was a big trading volume. So how do you explain the big spikes up and down and whatever, but the trading volume was pretty low? This actually means that there was quite low friction in the trading markets. There was not a lot of trading going on here. So who caused these huge ass spikes with not trading so much Bitcoin? That is pretty strange to me. So that is one that I was really interested in, and maybe someone in the comments can explain me what is going on here. But what you need to look out for is when the trading volume starts to grow really rapidly. I think there's going to be a big price rise. So what you need to do is look at the trading volume as much as you can, because this will indicate when Bitcoin will go up or down. Because when it's going down, it means that a lot of stop losses, or people are grabbing their wallets and selling it, fear of missing out on getting their money back. So that is an interesting one as well. And another one that's going to give you a fun fact is gradually along the years there was a gradual growth of crypto wallets being created on the Bitcoin wallet, let's say. So we're just talking about blockchain.com wallets. Of course, there are going to be way more than that based on other kind of blockchain wallets or Bitcoin wallets you can have installed on your device. But during the COVID pandemic, there was a slight increase in the creation of wallets, of course. But there's an interesting fact that nobody actually knows. Currently, there's about 85 million users on blockchain.com wallets with a Bitcoin wallet. But we just passed 8 billion people of the current world population. There's not a lot of news articles about it that I saw. I was just looking this up for the video and I was like, oh, we just passed 8 billion people. That's a lot of people. But actually that means that only 1% of the world has a wallet on blockchain.com. That's pretty interesting to me. That is actually quite fun. So you are one of the 1%, I guess. But I estimate that 3% is into crypto along the whole world right now. So 1 or 3%, it's pretty rare. You're a rare phenomenon on this planet right now. So the final chart I'm going to show you guys is basically, nothing. Just leave this one. It's not really interesting. But yeah, what I think that is going on is Bitcoin and crypto is just laid aside for just a little bit. There's going to be a big change in electricity prices soon. It's going to go up or down. We don't know yet, and that is basically going to determine the price of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies' number one price influence is the electricity cost. The electricity cost will need to be recovered at some point. So the huge mining difficulty that you see growing will need to be paid back eventually. There's some big ass miners that spend like millions of dollars on electricity costs each month. Especially in China they were, but now in Kazakhstan there's some huge farms opening up. So when these people will turn their money back into paying their electricity bills with normal currency, well, they'll just be waiting till Bitcoin rises in price, and they will just probably sell their crypto here and there just to pay the electricity or whatever. So it's going to be really interesting these times, and that's why I wanted to make these update videos for you guys. And let me know in the comments below what you think about it. But hopefully you all enjoyed this video today, and see you guys in the next one.